After the wedding, Ethan had always been cold toward me. But when I placed the divorce papers in front of him, he exploded. Divorce me to go find him? Over my dead body. Later, he really died saving me. On the rainy night after his funeral, I unexpectedly traveled back in time 1 month. Ethan, I whispered, this time, it's my turn to love you. When I arrived in the past, Ethan was just shredding the divorce papers I'd thrown at him. His aristocratic features twisted with uncharacteristic emotion, a bitter smirk playing on his lips. You came, just for this? His voice held icy detachment laced with barely concealed anguish. Though anger dominated, the sharp pain in my palm confirmed this wasn't a dream. Before I could respond, Ethan pinned me against the wall. His eyes burned crimson, primal emotions shattering his usual composure. So eager to divorce, running back to him? Stella! His breath hitched. I'd rather die than sign. Forget it. Our gazes locked, his obsessive intensity making my heart clench. Memories flooded back. This was our second divorce confrontation. His words identical. What had I said last time? Who I see after divorcing you is none of your business. I love Lucas. I want out. Let's not make this ugly. Ethan. My past self's cruel words echoed, oblivious to his shattered expression. Until the car crash, his blood soaking that white shirt. Unstoppable. His final breath spent pushing me to safety. Only then did I understand my loss. Heart-wrenching regret crashed over me like tidal waves. Now, reborn, I'd prevent that tragedy and love him properly. As for Lucas, he could take his precious Luna and disappear forever. Lost in this second chance. I didn't realize I'd been sobbing until Ethan froze. Panic flashed across his face. He'd never seen me cry. Hesitantly, his warm thumb brushed my tears. Stella, he murmured, voice softening against his will. Ask anything but this. His forced calm gutted me. How blind I'd been, rejecting this man who loved me fiercely. Chasing after that lying freeloader instead. I threw myself into his arms, clinging to his lean frame. I'm sorry, Ethan. I take it all back. He stiffened. After an eternity, Ethan laughed bitterly, pushing me away. His eyes blazed with love and fury. Stop playing games, Stella. Before I could explain, the room spun. As darkness claimed me, I saw genuine terror on his face, the first time he'd ever called my name with real concern. The truth was complicated. Lucas had been my college sweetheart. My first love. We dated 4 years until Ethan appeared. My mother seized the chance to end things, constantly criticizing Lucas' untrustworthy face. When forced to marry Ethan, I'd rebelled, separate bedrooms, avoided meals, treated him like a stranger. For a year. Now, holding Ethan's shaking hands as consciousness faded, I vowed, this time, I'd get it right. I've exhausted every scheme to get a divorce, only to find my stranger husband Ethan outright refusing. When pressed for reasons, he offered none. My loathing for him grew until he tossed me a video. Turns out, my first love had been spending my money, driving my cars, and checking into hotels with other women while holding my hand, all with that same sweet smile. Stella, we'll marry the moment your divorce is final. He'd promised. What expert-level gaslighting. I'd never have believed he'd hooked up with my coworker if concrete evidence hadn't stared me down. Those hotel records dated back 2 years, to the height of our romance. Overnight, my idealized first love became a disgusting stain. That's when I noticed Ethan acting strange. Almost as if he actually cared. I jolted awake. Phantom car crash echoes from my nightmare making me tremble. Though autumn chilled the air, my clothes clung with sweat. Harsh clinic lights outlined a broad-shouldered silhouette. A doctor clicked his pen shut while addressing him. Mr. Clark. Rest assured, Mrs. Clark's robust health simply met a stubborn flu. The 4 will resolve it. Mrs. Clark. Me. The title buzzed faintly in my fever-fogged mind, overlapping with memories of the same hospital after Ethan's death. Different doctor. Same icy tone, Mrs. Clark. My condolences. Sterile walls. Sterile sympathy. Perhaps my stare burned too intensely. Ethan turned, those depthless eyes catching mine before veiling their flicker of emotion. Expression neutral. He approached, each step syncing with my hammering pulse. Water? He'd already poured it. Glass extended in offering. I nodded mutely. His hands steadied me as I sat up. Clinical efficiency belying their gentleness. Studying him properly for the first time, I catalogued the aristocratic nose. Hooded eyes. Jawline that could cut glass, every feature screaming genetic lottery winner. The man from my memories superimposed perfectly over this living version. Swallowing back tears, I shamelessly demanded, "Feed me." The glass froze mid-air. Ethan's lashes lifted slowly. Obsidian irises glinting with something unreadable. Our entire marriage. I'd recoiled from his touch. This sudden intimacy clearly baffled him. Yet I knew, beneath the shock, he'd never deny me. As his fingertips brushed my lips during the water's tilt, I seized his corded forearm. I don't want the divorce. Muscles tense steel, cable tight beneath my grip. His throat worked before releasing a ragged exhale. Stella, you handed me those papers yourself. Why should I believe this? The self-inflicted irony choked me. Meeting his flinty gaze head-on, I vowed. Every word since waking is true. The fever burned through my delusions. Marrying you? That's the dream I should be pinching myself over. Don't they say, repentance redeems? Well, I'm repenting. Here. Now. Ethan's scrutiny could have diamond-cut titanium. Biting my lip, I pressed my advantage. Seriously. I've made up my mind. I won't divorce you. I don't want Lucas anymore. I like you. I know I've hurt you badly before. But I'll change. Please forgive me. Let's start over. Okay? Ethan froze. His expression clearly questioning if I'd lost my mind. After all, I was the one begging for divorce before. And now here I was taking it back. The next day after being discharged, I shamelessly moved my things into his room. Actions speak louder than words. We're legally married. You can't stop me from exercising my marital rights. I'm sleeping here tonight. I grinned brightly. Ethan shot me a glance. Stella, I don't know why you suddenly changed your mind. Regardless, my stance remains: divorce is never happening. I nodded eagerly like a packing chick, mustering courage to kiss him. I'm sorry for everything. Yell at me. Scold me. Just don't push me away. His muscles tensed under my touch. After what felt like an eternity, he rasped. Do you realize what you're doing? Aren't you scared? I shook my head, refusing to admit the fear churning inside. We're married. This is normal, whatever happens. Ethan's brows furrowed, desire burning in his eyes. You're really asking for it, aren't you? When I nodded, he cursed under his breath. Before I could react, he threw me onto the bed. Just as I started sweating nervously, he yanked the blanket over me. Sleep. I'm showering. He fled to the bathroom without looking back. I breathed in his lingering scent, wide awake when he returned. Seeing me waiting, Ethan paused before wordlessly switching off the lights. Lying rigid beside him, I inched closer until his arm suddenly pulled me into an embrace. Sleep. Nestling against his warmth, I closed my eyes contentedly. Ethan, thank God you're still here. Though sharing the bed for days, I knew Ethan remained skeptical, maintaining a careful distance. Just as I pondered how to break through, Lucas called with the cringeworthy custom ringtone I'd forgotten to change. Ethan gave me one searing look before storming out. Biting my lip, I cursed the misunderstanding. But remembering the $40,000 Lucas owed me, I couldn't let that slide. What now? I snapped. Applying foundation. Stella, can you spare another $2,000? Client gifting emergency. I nearly snorted. Client? You mean Luna? His pause confirmed it. We've spent $40,000 on your business trips. What exactly costs this much? Lucas backpedaled. It's for our future. Once I get promoted, what I want. You can't afford. I coldly interrupted. Funny how you only ask for money. Am I just your ATM? Panicking, he blurted, I'll withdraw my savings to prove it. Save it. I drew my eyebrows sharply. Truth is, I'm broke here with the Clarks. Maybe divorcing Ethan for alimony. The bait worked instantly. Lucas' voice turned urgent. You'd really do that? Smirking, I watched the trap spring shut. His voice couldn't conceal astonishment. Are you really divorcing him? Stella? I've been waiting. Don't worry, how much do you need? I'll wire it immediately. I arched an eyebrow. At least 400,000 or 500,000. You know the Clark family isn't some ordinary family. Ethan's wristwatch alone costs millions. Lucas hesitated briefly. Serving my best manipulative charm. I purred, every penny will eventually come back to you. The calculation flashed behind Lucas' eyes before he nodded. All right. Stella. I'm transferring it now. You know I'd endure any hardship rather than see you suffer with Ethan. Once the divorce is final, we'll marry and live comfortably. The bank notification chimed instantly. My lips curled in a frigid smile. Great. Duty calls, we'll talk later. Hanging up. Dark satisfaction coiled in my chest. Let's see him vomit up every cent he's squandered chasing women with my money. I never expected to find Ethan leaning against the corridor wall. Storm clouds gathering in his expression. He'd clearly overheard everything. Our eyes met, he turned sharply away. Ethan! Wait! I scrambled after him, nearly colliding with his broad shoulders when he halted. His glacial gaze raked over me. Explain what? Your divorce plans? Liquidating assets to elope with Lucas? The self-mocking edge in his voice cut deeper than anger. No. None of that's true. I thrust my phone at him. Look, I tricked him into returning the money he borrowed. That whole conversation was an act to recover what's ours. Tricked? Skepticism lingered in his narrowed eyes. $40,000. I refused to let him keep a dime of Clark family money while betting his latest fling. Raising my palm in oath, I vowed, from now on, Lucas walks his path alone. You have to believe me. Ethan. His conflicted silence stretched before yielding to a terse nod. Relief flooded through me, disaster averted. Seizing the momentum, I decided to resign from my job that afternoon. Switching cars proved wise, the office buzzed with Luna's preening when I arrived. Luna's so lucky, loving family. Gorgeous devoted boyfriend, co-workers fawned over hotel-branded pastry boxes. The brunette practically strutted toward me. Peacock pride in full display. Care for a taste. Stella? These aren't for ordinary budgets. Memories surfaced, how Lucas had once wooed me with identical deli sandwiches. Apparently his romantic repertoire never evolved beyond artisanal carbs. Charcuterie from Eurasia Hotel? I examined the sandwich with theatrical pity. Where's the truffle aioli? Iberian ham? Darling. Even their basic menu outshines this. Her smirk faltered as colleagues blinked in confusion. Since when does a small business girl know luxury dining? Funny story. I leaned closer, savoring her paling complexion. My ex bombarded me with these daily. Turns out billionaires make tedious suitors. Before Luna could retort, a coworker interjected, Stella's ex versus Luna's boyfriend, who's richer? The room stilled as poisonous delight bloomed in my chest. Let the games begin. Enough about ex-boyfriends. We all know Luna grew up with a silver spoon in her mouth. How could anyone compare? Someone's eager to play the hero, which Luna clearly appreciated. She put on her best gracious act, murmuring, Now, we're all equals here. There's no hierarchy. Luna's just too kind-hearted." Lu Jing kept brown-nosing, shooting me a venomous look. Unlike some people who bite the hand that feeds them. I sipped my coffee coldly. "Lu Jing, if I didn't know that was a sandwich Luna gave you, I'd think she slipped you something stronger. Why the sudden loyalty?" "You." Lu Jing flushed crimson. "No wonder your ex dumped you. You deserve it." The mention of Lucas darkened my expression. Luna sat primly, seizing the opportunity to sneer. "Relax, Stella. Lu Jing was just joking. You're so sensitive, no wonder people can't stand you." Meeting her gaze squarely, I retorted, "All bark and no bite. Why don't you two play these games with each other? You dare call me a dog?" Luna shot up, finger jabbing at me. "Cross me today, Stella, and I'll have you fired by tomorrow. Manager Liao's my aunt, and the CEO's been Dad's business partner for decades." I slow-clapped mockingly. "Bravo! So Manager Liao's your aunt? Well, Ethan's my husband. Should I build you a shrine since you're so important? I'm done covering your incompetent work anyway." The room froze. Lu Jing pounced on the opening, as if. "Everyone knows Clark Group's CEO is single, millions of girls are after him." "You?" "Exactly." Luna scoffed. "The Clarks barely acknowledge my family. Who do you think you are?" Peals of laughter erupted as Manager Liao's stilettos clicked in. "What's this circus?" Luna rushed to tattle, "Manager Liao. Stella says she's quitting." The bespectacled woman turned to me. "Resigning? Do you know current real estate prices? About $9,000 per square meter? Do you own property?" "Yes." "How many units?" "Over a dozen domestically." Her eyebrow twitched. "Mortgages?" "None." "Vehicles?" I tossed my Maybach keys on the desk. Luna gasped, "You drive a Maybach? You always take that beat up. Switched cars just for you." I smirked. "Don't flatter yourself." Manager Liao shot Luna a warning look. "Final question, do you feel financial pressure?" I pretended to ponder. "Well, my husband out-earns me." The manager leaned in eagerly. "What does he do? Annual income?" "He runs companies. Maybe a few billion?" Snickers erupted as Manager Liao's face hardened. "Stella, I'm trying to have a professional. Ask Ethan yourself." I cut in, watching their smirks fade. Let them laugh now, the truth would sting soon enough. "I'm not joking, Manager Liao. If your husband makes so much money, why would you still be crammed in this dump with us?" I chuckled. "That's exactly why I'm resigning." Luna leaned close to Liao Chio's ear with mock sweetness. Loud enough for everyone to hear. "Auntie. She claims her husband is Ethan Clark from the Clark family." Liao Chio's face instantly darkened. As if on cue, Director Liu pushed open the door followed by a man in a tailored suit. Liao Chio switched to sickening sweetness. "Director Liu." The director nodded before turning respectfully to the man behind him. "Secretary Ryan. Who did you need to see?" I was puzzling over which Secretary Ryan they meant when he strode directly to my desk under everyone's gaze. My eyebrow twitched as I asked flatly, "Can I help you?" Ryan flashed a corporate, perfect smile. "Good afternoon, Mrs. Clark. I'm Mr. Clark's executive assistant Ryan Turner." Ah, the dramatic reveal begins. "Straightening?" I asked professionally. "What brings you here?" "The CEO noticed you left your phone at his penthouse this morning." Ryan answered smoothly, producing the device. He didn't want you inconvenienced. Luna couldn't contain herself. Excuse me, this Mr. Clark you mentioned, would that be Ethan Clark of Clark Industries? Liao Cho shot her niece a withering glare for the idiotic question. Accepting the phone, I smiled coolly. Thank you, Ryan. My pleasure, Mrs. Clark. I handed my pre-written resignation to Director Liu. Both Liao and Luna turned ashen. We clearly can't retain talent of your caliber, Director Liu said through gritted teeth. I'll process Mrs. Clark's resignation immediately. Turning to Ryan, I asked, would you mind helping me clear my desk? Of course. The office froze in stunned silence as we worked. Luna stood petrified while co-workers gawked, equal parts envy that I'd actually become Mrs. Clark in shock that my delusional claims had been true. Their smirks about a toad lusting after swan meat still hung in the air. At the doorway, I suddenly turned back. Oh Luna, I said with icy precision. Your boyfriend got that new car. Didn't he? What's it to you? She snapped. I tilted my head. Just wondering how comfortable you find the passenger seat, since the registration's still under my name. Her face contorted. You're lying, Lucas said, his father. I wasn't aware I'd birthed a 30-year-old son. My laugh was pure steel. Though when he begged me to co-sign the lease for work purposes. Well, old habits die hard. The blood drained from Luna's face. Her precious sugar daddy fantasy crumbling publicly? This princess wouldn't recover from that humiliation anytime soon. Shall we? I asked Ryan, savoring my exit. That evening, Ethan worked on his laptop while I streamed comedy specials beside him. Our domestic tranquility punctuated by his occasional chuckle at my snort laughs. He tapped the keyboard casually, asking, I heard from Ryan you resigned today? I closed my phone and leaned into him. Just quit when I didn't feel like working anymore. Since transmigrating, I developed this urge to stay physically close to Ethan. Any plans? He glanced sideways, his obsidian eyes mirroring my figure with deceptive tenderness. My heart skipped a beat. Studying his chiseled profile, a scheme crystallized. I beamed at him brightly. It's a secret. Ethan probably never imagined he'd find me at Clark Enterprises' front desk chirping. Good morning, Mr. Clark. He froze, furrowing his brows after 2 full seconds. Icy gaze pinning me. I wrinkled my nose at him, sneaking a quick tongue-out gesture when nobody looked. Surprise! Bet you didn't see this coming. Understanding dawned as he massaged his temple, shooting me a warning glare with those jet-black eyes. The moment he left, my phone buzzed. Ethan, come to 52nd floor. Grinning, I tucked away my phone and excused myself from reception. But the person opening the door wasn't Ethan. I wouldn't have minded Ryan, but this fresh-faced girl made jealousy prickle my throat. She stiffened upon seeing my uniform. Front desk staff? Who authorized your access here? Emily. I summoned her. Prepare honey citron tea. Ethan's voice cut through. The girl, Emily, blinked in shock, clearly unused to Ethan entertaining women. Right away, Mr. Clark. As she retreated, I entered the office pouting. Your surprise rival's mine, Ethan. He set down his pen, removing glasses. Explain the front desk stint. His interrogative tone irked me. I jutted my lower lip. Who's that woman? Cough. My assistant, Emily Harris. His eyes glinted. Your turn. I shot him a wounded look. Wanted to be near you. You're always working. Clark Enterprises only had front desk openings. His sigh coincided with Emily delivering tea. Leave it there. Ethan gestured. She studied me curiously before exiting. The tea proved Ethan remembered my preferences perfectly. His palm warmed my waist through the blouse as he deadpanned. As my employee, Focus on your duties. I giggled, poking his massaging hand. Mr. Clark, this hands-on with all staff? His ears flushed crimson. Relenting. I drained the tea and patted his shoulder affectionately. Thank you for the tea, Ethan. I should head back now. If my supervisor catches me slacking off on my first day, I might not have a job tomorrow. I straightened my blouse and had barely settled at my desk when Fong Wei nudged me. Stella, the Maohua representatives are here. Go handle the greeting. Nodding, I adjusted my posture before heading to the meeting. Behind me floated whispers, Ing. Don't be so harsh. Everyone knows Maohua's the toughest account. Stella's new here, think she'll quit tomorrow? Ing. Don't be dramatic. Fong Wei's voice dripped honey. If she resigns over this, she never belonged here. Our reception desk requires more than a pretty face. Fate, however, intervened. The Maohua team recognized my connection to Ethan. Instead of icy negotiations, I received deferential smiles. 4 days. Ethan summoned me to his office for covert lunch breaks. Huang Ying finally confronted me. Where do you disappear every noon? I never see you in the cafeteria. I stammered excuses, later texting Ethan to cancel our secret rendezvous. At lunchtime, Ryan tactfully suggested, perhaps Mr. Clark should inspect the cafeteria's new menu? The perfect blend of professional pretext and personal agenda. Ethan's gaze flickered with begrudging approval. When he marched into the dining hall, conversations died mid-sentence. I glanced up from my salad to find him framed in the doorway, sparking excited murmurs. Oh my God, it's Mr. Clark. Does he actually eat here? Our eyes locked. I arched an eyebrow, suppressing a smile as he approached. Stopping 3 meters away, he randomly grilled an employee. Your opinion on the food? The flustered man shot up. SS sir. It's acceptable. The stutter triggered collective chuckles. Ethan nodded impassively. Proceed with your meal. True to form, he materialized beside me. Arctic blue eyes softened imperceptibly. Enjoying lunch? He asked with forced neutrality. Quite. I replied deadpan, secretly delighting in his charade. My husband's adorable when playing CEO. He caught my amusement. Voice deepening. Employees may voice concerns directly to management. I pretended to ponder, meeting his obsidian gaze. Expensive? The room collectively held its breath. Ethan tilted his head. Elaborate. My salary's $7,000 monthly. Cafeteria costs over 1,000. Sympathetic glances rained down, mental applause echoing for my audacity. Ethan turned to Ryan. Cut all menu prices by 50% starting tomorrow. Fetch samples for quality check. Jaws dropped. Since when did the Ice King accommodate staff complaints? As Ryan scrambled to the serving line, Ethan claimed the adjacent table. Carry on. The remaining meal unfolded under envious stares. Stella. You legend. Co-workers marveled afterward. Eating beside Mr. Clark? Basically a date. I forced an awkward laugh, muttering internally that he was indeed here to have dinner with me. Unfortunately, Emily walked in right as I said this. She first glanced at the woman who'd spoken before shifting her frosty gaze to me, scanning me up and down like appraising merchandise. Suddenly, her lips curved into a smile that didn't reach her mocking eyes. Clearly this Emily wasn't some naive pushover. Never underestimate a woman's intuition. Squaring my shoulders, I met her gaze arrogantly, my lips curling into a confident smirk. 3 days before December's arrival, snowflakes began dusting the sky. Ethan accompanied me on my day off to visit Mom for her birthday. But when we opened the door, Lucas stood in our foyer. I muttered that we must have used the wrong key. What was he doing here? After confronting Luna, I'd blocked Lucas everywhere. He had no way to contact me except ambushing us here. Now the three of us stood frozen in awkward silence until Lucas recovered, strolling to the kitchen like he belonged there. "Auntie? Stella's home." Mom hurried out, flustered when she saw Ethan. "Why is he here?" I whispered, still under the impression I loved Lucas. She anxiously explained to Ethan. "Ethan, please don't misunderstand. I didn't invite him, he showed up unannounced. After what happened between him and Stella, well, I couldn't just slam the door." She remained unaware of Lucas' 2-year affair. Ethan nodded calmly. "It's fine, Mom." My jaw tightened as I glared at Lucas. What disgusting game was he playing? With a cold laugh, I approached him. He followed me to the corner while Ethan sat drinking tea with Dad, his watchful eyes lingering on us. Once we were alone, Lucas' mask crumbled. "Stella, I'm sorry," he rasped, reaching for my hand but finding empty air. "You blocked me everywhere. This was the only way." I studied the man I'd once loved beyond reason, now feeling nothing but icy detachment. Turning toward the falling snow, I asked tonelessly, "Just tell me one thing, Lucas. When did you and Luna start?" His throat worked. "After we met." "Liar!" I snapped. Panicked. He blurted, "It was after your wedding. When you started obsessing over Ryan. I needed comfort. You're still my true love. Once you divorce Ethan, we can." I sneered contemptuously. "Why would I marry you? Do you really think so highly of yourself? Clearly you didn't know Mia Hotel belongs to the Clarks. Every reservation you made with Luna is in their system." "How many nights was it? 12? 20? He paled. When did you find out?" "Does it matter?" I turned away. "Leave the car keys. Get out. Please." He trembled. "I'll cut her off." Luna came on to me. "I swear. Give me another chance." I shook my head bitterly. "Cats chase mice. Dogs eat trash. You're not changing. Take your things and go." His voice broke. "You love him now, don't you, Ethan?" "Yes. Who could refuse someone who loves you with their life? Losing him would be my greatest regret." Lucas left dejectedly. My parents vaguely overheard our conversation, visibly relieved that I'd finally chosen to stay committed to Ethan. Only my sister Xingyu kept her head lowered, asking timidly, "Sis, since you're letting go of Lucas, does that mean you won't divorce Ethan anymore?" I knew she'd always hoped I'd rekindle things with Lucas because she harbored feelings for Ethan. But now, "Xingyu, you should call him brother-in-law," I said. After returning home, Ethan's demeanor toward me shifted noticeably. Leaning against the bar counter, his gaze burned with intensity as his velvet voice purred. "Care for a drink?" The swirling wine exuded dangerous allure. Smirking, I took the glass and downed it, crimson tongue darting across my lips. "Ethan, I need to tell you a secret." We ended up in the bedroom, clothes scattered like fallen leaves across the floor. When the frenzy subsided, Ethan's eyes glistened as he rasped, "Stella, why didn't you tell me it was your first time?" when I, rubbing my sore waist with tear-stained cheeks. I muttered, "Who knew you'd go at it like a wild animal?" He pressed his forehead to mine, heartbeat thundering against my chest. "I'm sorry. I got carried away." "It's fine," I whispered. "I liked it." On New Year's Eve, the Clark Corporation Gala transformed Portman Hotel into an employee-exclusive wonderland. Ethan distributed red envelopes bursting with cash as year-end bonuses, announcing paid triple overtime for tomorrow's company-wide holiday. Beneath crystal chandeliers, champagne flutes clinked until my reflexes dulled from constant toasts. When I staggered up for the bathroom, Huang Ying giggled. "Look at Stella, she's done for." The whole table erupted as Feng Wei teased. "She's still green. Not like us seasoned drinkers." I slurred defiance. I can still keep going. Listen to that sloppy speech. Fong Wei crowed, triggering fresh laughter. Front desk supervisor Zhou Bingnan offered. You should rest. Stella. This liquor's got delayed kick. Before I could respond, Fong Wei needled. Oh ho! Someone's got a crush. Zhou flushed crimson. Stop spreading nonsense. You'll make Stella uncomfortable. My buzzing ears barely registered their banter as I stumbled toward the restroom. Leaning against the tiled wall post-relief, I collided with Emily. Her icy composure cracked upon seeing me. Stella. She spat while I dried my hands under the blower. I saw your HR file. Why would someone of your caliber settle for front desk work? When I kept silent, she pressed. Is this all for Ethan? She smiled faintly, her eyes glinting with feigned pity. Do you have any idea how many people adore Ethan? Do you really think you can outshine them all and make Ethan fall for you? His status is beyond ordinary people's reach. Did you imagine he'd notice you just because you contradicted him publicly? This isn't some romantic fantasy zone. I suggest you stop deluding yourself and stay away from him. Her haughty demeanor resembled a preening rooster after victory. I studied her reflection in the mirror before drawling. You sound mentally unstable. Seriously unhinged. Turning away. I'm made to leave. Wait! Emily snarled, grabbing my wrist. How dare you insult me? Do you know who I am? I've worked with Ethan for 7 years. What are you? Just a receptionist trading on pretty looks. Don't think you can climb the social ladder that easily. Wrenching free. I slapped her hard enough to make my palm sting. The sharp crack echoed through the bathroom. 70 years wouldn't make him yours. I stated coldly. You're just his assistant. Know your place. My fingers tilted her chin up as I smirked. Since you have Ethan's contact, why don't you check his profile picture? Come argue with me again after that. Leaving her stunned, I strode back to the dinner table where my headache worsened. Colleagues debated my ride home. Zhou, I'll call a designated driver for Stella. Fong, but you've been drinking too. It's inappropriate. Huang, we know you like her. Manager Zhou. But she might resent this later. Their discussion halted when Lu spotted the approaching figure. Stop arguing, she said tightly. Stella's ride is here. Who? Multiple voices demanded. Me. Ethan's icy tone cut through the chatter. The entire restaurant quieted as executives hurriedly greeted him. My temples throbbed worse when his voice sounded near my ear. Stella? I scowled at the formal address. Stop summoning me like a ghost. Wrapping arms around his waist. I mumbled against his shirt. Why won't you call me Stella anymore? You used to love saying it. Horrified gasps erupted. Zhou stammered. Mr. Clark. She's drunk. She doesn't know what she's. Say it. Ethan. Tears spilled as I choked out. Please, one more time, don't die. The silence turned electric. Then everyone's jaws dropped when Ethan cradled me close. Murmuring. Stella. I'm here. He lifted me effortlessly, carrying me past the frozen crowd without another glance. Outside, the night sky mirrored his profile picture, dark expanse dotted with stars. Those particular stars spelled ownership. His stars. His Stella. And there I was, curled up in Ethan's arms, sobbing uncontrollably, staring at his stoic, distant face. I traced his features with my fingers again and again, my mind flooded with memories of his death. I'm sorry. I really never knew how you felt. Thank you for loving me. I choked out. But next time, don't save me again. I mumbled incoherently, barely aware of my own words. Ethan's brow furrowed deeper. Suddenly, his eyes widened as if struck by realization. Stella, he whispered. After I died, did you live well? I stopped crying, nodded, then after a pause murmured, "Yes. I followed the treatment like you said. Ate properly." He pressed on. "Do you remember how I died?" Without thinking, I blurted, "The April 6th car accident, saving me." Burying my face in his shirt, I cried louder. "I'm sorry. If I could start over, I'd love you right this time." Ethan's eyes reddened. He seemed to piece it together. With a bitter laugh, he pulled me tighter, cool lips brushing my forehead. "Stella," he murmured, "I don't know why time reversed, but you promised you'll keep your word." His voice broke. "Anne, I love you." "Stella."